What's up, everybody? Hey, Tom Laird here, host of the Advice from a Call Center Geek podcast and founder of Expivia. For exceptional contact center outsourcing, trust Expivia. We're fully AI-driven, as all of you know, and can handle voice, email, chat, and all of your digital channels. Our 600-seat USA contact center is expert in healthcare, financial services, insurance, tech support, retail, and more. Experts on the NICE CX1 platform, we ensure seamless customer experiences. DM me or visit expiviausa.com for more.
This is Advice from a Call Center Geek, a weekly podcast with a focus on all things call center. We'll cover it all from call center operations, hiring, culture, technology, and education. We're here to give you actionable items to improve the quality of yours and your customers' experience. This is an evolving industry with creative minds and ambitious people like this guy. Not only is his passion call center operations, but he's our host. He's the CEO of Expivia Interaction Marketing Group and the Call Center Geek himself, Tom Laird.
The times, they are changing. It's kind of the theme that I want to use for the second podcast this week. I kind of feel bad. I skipped out on the podcast from last week just due to some travel issues and being a little under the weather and some work commitments. So I want to kind of double this up and do two of them this week. So again, welcome everyone. My name is Tom Laird. I am the CEO of Expivia Interaction Marketing. Expivia is a 500-seat BPO or outsourced call center located here in northwestern Pennsylvania. And what I want to discuss is a talk that I gave a couple weeks ago at the NICE inContact user conference at Interactions. And I want to use some of the statistical data that I found in researching that talk, and also some of the things that we have found of why Omnichannel is so important and becoming more and more important, and also the changing landscape of how customers want to interact. And I have some data to kind of back some of that stuff up. So just wanted to start and say, customers are changing. It's 2019 as of the recording of this podcast, and customers are really starting to change how they interact. I talk about everybody here the kind of the cell phone anonymity process that where I can kind of text. I don't really have to call. I can kind of just be laying in my bed. I don't have to kind of go all in with a conversation. It's starting to spill over, because that's how we're starting to interact with our friends and our family, right, wrong, or indifferent. That texting world is really starting to come into our normal lives. So what we're starting to see is NICE inContact did a really cool customer benchmarking survey where they talked to 4,000 to 5,000 different customers, talked about some of the trends that they're seeing. And some of the data that came back was pretty cool. And I think it correlates really well with what I'm seeing in my business and what I know a lot of you out there are seeing in your call centers. So, we saw in 2017 that 66% of all customers still preferred phone, aka voice, as their preferred channel. But that dropped significantly, about 13 points from 2018, to only 53% of customers preferred a voice, or really a voice-only means of communication. And you know what really rose was chat, right? Because chat is basically texting. When you have your phone and you're chatting with someone, it's basically the same exact format. It's the same. People are and companies are trying to get the same exact look as it feels when you're texting on your iPhone or your Android device. So look at these numbers. In 2017, 11% of customers said that chat was their preferred channel. That rose and bumped up all the way to 36% in 2018. That's a huge 25-point jump in just a year, because number one, companies are starting to understand this. They're implementing more chat. Customers are getting, again, more comfortable with that as a preferred channel for them to contact with. And we're really starting to see that rise. And in my business, 18 to 24 months ago, for a call center outsourcing project, we would see RFPs that were voice only. And adding any type of chat or email, that was kind of a plus, right? But they didn't really need it. In the last 12 months, we have had zero or voice-only RFPs. So chat, email, and voice are must-have service channels for everybody out there and for every BPO out there. So if you do not have, one of those three, and I know a lot of you guys are on the flip side, where maybe you only have chat or email, but you're forgetting about voice. Well, just remember, voice is not dead, right? It's still the preferred channel, right? But the channel preferences that we're seeing are all evening out. Evening out. Yeah, sorry. The death of voice has been predicted many times, but still, like I said, currently over half of customers still prefer it. But again, voice, chat, email, they're leveling out those preferred into the preferred channels. So you need to be at least multi-channel and moving into an omni-channel environment. And here's some of the things that we think that we can give customers with our full omni-channel environment. So again, we are full channel agnostic. So we don't care how your customers want to interact, right? And I think that's how you need to think of it. You need to be channel agnostic, and being an omni-channel contact center allows you to do that. So you can take chat, voice, email, SMS, video, have chatbots moved into your contact center and integrated in. Again, we can handle inbound, outbound voice, chat, email under one platform. So the cool thing about omnichannel and the difference between that and multi-channel is obviously multi-channel, you can handle multiple channels. But omnichannel, if we have an associate that is doing a chat session with a customer, and the customer says, "You know what, Tom, I'm confused. Can you please give me a call?" We can launch an outbound call to that customer while still keeping that chat session open. Maybe we say, "Hey, can you send me an email?" We can send an email right to that rep. And then let's say the customer hangs up but then wants to call back in 5 minutes. We can say, "Hey, just give me a call back. Here it is," and have that inbound call come right to that associate. So you can have multiple channels within the same interaction and the same customer interaction, the same customer experience, which really makes the customer feel like you actually care, and you have an integrated platform that can handle all their issues. The other thing that we really like is with omnichannel, you're talking to more customers over more channels, which increases the revenue opportunities through upsell and cross-sell. So that's something that a lot of people don't think about. But the more times that you get a chance to talk to your customer, if you plan this and do it right, you can turn your contact center into a profit center. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people decide to take it the penny-wise, dollar-foolish way of pushing customers away, only having one channel. And you guys know how I feel about that. So again, I think that there's so many pluses to being in an omni-channel world. I want to give you some statistics that I think kind of bear some of this stuff out. So 60% of customers change their contact channel depending on where they are and what they're doing. Think about that. You could have somebody who's at home who maybe they like to call, right? And they like to talk. But then they're in their car. Probably shouldn't be texting in your car. But they're on the road. They're in a hotel room. They're at the mall where they have an issue. Maybe they want to just get a quick answer really fast. And if you can't provide them with the different channels for them to interact with, that's going to be a huge issue for them. So you need to really think that through in your service model. Here's another one for you. After a positive customer experience, 69% of Americans would recommend that company to others, while following a negative experience, 58% of Americans would never use that company again. Now, again, this goes even beyond being omnichannel, and we talked about this kind of in the last couple episodes when we talked about speech analytics and talking about bridging the two efficiencies of the contact center using service level and handle time and those kind of KPIs with the kind of the full breadth of the interactions of data that we have now on the customer side and coming up with sentiment and understanding that. We have found that when customers in our contact center, when we have clients that only will allow us or only want their customers to interact with one or two channels, sentiment automatically is about 15 to 20% lower, or I should say positive sentiment is 15 to 20% lower. Negative sentiment is higher, 15 to 20% in those organizations. So just having an omni-channel or at least a multi-channel operation, kind of gives you almost a 15% boost just because of the ease of use and for the customer. Here's the other issue that is really starting to arise, and this is not brain surgery. This is things that you've all heard about. So social media is a huge deal now, right? And it's a huge deal when it comes to not only responding to customers' issues, but when you fail at a customer issue or when you do a really great job at a customer issue, those things now get kind of reverberated around the social media world. The other thing is if you're still not responding to social media channels in a timely manner, so most people now do have a social media strategy with response, but a lot of it is hours, right? It's not instant. Nobody's really looking at that real time. But to give you a statistic here too, failure to respond via social media channels leads to a 15% increase in churn rate. So when you are not responding, when you are just using your social media as a shout mechanism to kind of just talk about really cool things that are happening in your organization, and when customers have issues, you just kind of delete those, because I know there's a lot of companies out there that do that, you're going to churn customers and you're going to lose customers. So again, don't be lazy. Understand that social media is a real channel, just like email, just like chat, just like voice, and it needs to be responded and have a plan, just like those other channels. And if that didn't convince you, here's another one for you too. 60% of 25 to 34-year-olds share poor customer experiences online, and that number is going up. Right? And listen, I know I'm 42, so I'm a little outside of that number. I do it. You know, if any of you guys listen to the podcast where United lost my bag, right? I went online, I went on social media, and that's really how I got the answers that I needed. And unfortunately, some organizations, their service methods are so bad that you almost have to use that. So don't get to that point. Don't get to the point where customers feel so helpless that they just have to go shout to the world how terrible the service was. You know, try to handle that internally. Try to handle it the first time that somebody calls or somebody emails you, and then you're gonna turn those experiences around. Right? United could have very easily just killed it with the first couple calls that I made, and I would have gone on social media and said, you know what, United, great job. This is everything that they've done. And that's how you need to think of it too. It's almost like you're paying, right? The pain that your customers are going through. If you handle it right, it's like basically paying for positive feedback that they're going to give you online. The other thing that you need to start thinking about, and I'll be honest, it's only early adopters that are using this. We only have 1 or 2 clients in our call center that are using is video, right? And looking at video as a service channel. I will say though that before you even look at video, really, really start to look at all these digital channels, the Facebook, the Twitter, the WhatsApp, understanding to deal with all that, and then looking at the last piece of this right now, which is video, gives that kind of full, real omni-channel experience where really customers can feel comfortable about talking to you and interacting with you in any way. So I think it's important. I think it really is important that you become channel agnostic with your customers, that your customers understand that wherever they are in the world, wherever they are in the situation that they're in, they're able to interact with you in the means that is most accessible and easiest for them. So, if I have the perfect world and we have a client that says, Tom, can you build me out a full omni-channel strategy? Right, the first thing that we're going to do is look at their IVR and look at their self-service methods. I'm probably going to, if there's any type of repetitive tasks, we'll keep the IVR. We're going to bear that and slim that down. We're going to try to push more traffic from a self-service side to maybe a chat bot or to just regular chat. But I think for a lot of this, for the very easy tasks, a chat bot is awesome. That can be then fully integrated into the call center. We're going to do email service. That's going to be the least publicized because it's the least personal. It leads to the least amount of engagement. So we want to push things that are, engaging with our customers a little more. So the next level is we want a full chat team. We want to push chat. We want to pop chats up. We want to make sure that we're responding. We have a full plan for that. And then obviously we want to have our voice, both on the inbound and outbound side, being able to route to the specific customers or to the specific agents that can handle those calls the most appropriately. We're going to do screen pops. We're going to give them every single method that we can from a voice side to make that experience as good as we can. And then we're going to look at all the social media aspects, and we're going to tie any of their Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. We're going to tie all of those type of digital assets into our Omnichannel as well. So we're going to treat those as all the same channel. And then we can gauge how many contacts are coming through on each of those channels, and then we can start to prioritize what we need to do to make sure that we're hitting the most amount of customers that need us the most from a routing strategy and from a service level standpoint. And then the cool thing about this is then we take our social our speech analytics, and we can do analytics then on voice, on email, and on chat. And then start to drill down on what issues customers are actually having, and then pick them out one at a time to make those pain points smoothed out across the whole customer journey. And I think that's how you really have a full omni-channel plan with a full customer journey that allows customers to interact on their terms. You're fully channel agnostic, making sure that you have a comfort level with all your customers, that they know that you're going to be there for them no matter what channel they need. And also you'll be looking at all their issues and trying to smooth them out one at a time, as they arise as a group of customers. So I hope that's helpful. I think that it's a really important topic to talk about omnichannel and talk about where that's moving. We're in the cloud with NICE inContact on their fully omnichannel platform, fully scalable. We can kind of go up, kind of go down. We can meet any channel need that a customer wants. So it's been a really cool platform for us. But that's my second podcast for the week. First time we've done 2 in a week. I hope that resonates a little bit and helps you a little. Again, just at the end here, I wanted to thank you again for everyone who's been listening. We are well over 4,000 downloads again for the podcast. Please, I kind of ask again to please post a review. We're kind of stuck again at like 29 reviews on iTunes and a couple on Spotify. So if you can please post a review, I'd appreciate it. If you are interested in advice from a call center geek, the book, it is on Amazon. Just kind of search for that bad boy on Amazon. And also please like us on Twitter, our Facebook page, and also on LinkedIn. So again, thank you guys very much, and I will speak to all of you my fellow call center geeks next week. Have a great one.
This has been advice from a call center geek. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to the show so you're the first to hear next week's episode. Jam-packed with actionable takeaways you can implement ASAP. Chime in with your thoughts on the episode on Twitter @from_geek and on Instagram @call_center_geek. Also, take a look at our contact center operations book by the same name, Advice from a Call Center Geek on Amazon. This podcast is sponsored by ExpiviaUSA.com.